Hello YouTube, this is Steve again. This is an update on my Lifetime 11 by 21 shed. And from the comments I've been looking at the last, I guess, a couple of days, people have wanted to know how it held up over the winter. And I can tell you that we did have a few pretty decent windstorms like I predicted. Not so much any snow, but a lot of wind, and it's still here. No issues, no problems. We've had a lot of rain, especially this past week, and there's not anything. There's no leaks, no nothing. So I'm very pleased with how this all came out. Just as a couple of updates we've done to this, we did add our electrical panel. We did add a bunch of lights. Well, not a bunch, but 4 LEDs, 8 footers. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It's 8 different, 8 bulbs, I guess. As you can see, I have it packed with stuff. To answer one of the questions about how I tied in this sill plate to the existing frame, as you can see, I used, I guess that's like a flat plate I got from Lowe's, and I used self-tapping hardware, and that's how we attached the 2x4 to the Lifetime stud. You do lose the 4 inches of room on each side because of the wood, but again, well worth the sacrifice in space, and it's only 7 inches total, 8 inches total, big deal. We also added an outside light, a motion light. That's up there. That really lights up the entire this area. Really does a good job. Another question that was asked was about how I secured, I guess, the sill plate to the bottom. And what we did was we did use, I believe it was either 3 inch or 3.5 inch galvanized legs when I used my impact wrench to shoot them into the floor. You see, one right there. That's what we used with some washes on top. But overall, like I said, this thing, I never added those extra cross beams like I was saying I might have, but I didn't do it. I really wanted to see for myself how the wind was gonna treat this thing over the winter with the existing work I did. And I gotta say, this thing didn't flinch. And we had some storms that were, at least 50 to 60 mile an hour winds sustained for a few hours. It was really, we had some bad wind, and it really it held up nice. I'm very happy how this thing is. Another question I was asked was about the cost of Lifetime, how much they charged me to put this up. Through their contractor that they hired, I hired them and they hired the contractor. I'm guessing that the contractor works for the trucking company who did the delivery, which was XPO. I believe I was charged $425 to put this up, and like I said, for that kind of money, and these guys did it in. They told me it takes them about 4 hours, and I was like, "There's no way this is going up in 4 hours." Ended up taking about a day and a half. The guys that did it said that they never did a shed this size. They've done a lot of Lifetime smaller sheds, the 8x10s or the that kind of thing. The 6x10s, but never something this big. So I think they underestimated the labor on this. But either way, end of the day, I paid them in advance on a credit card, and it came like 4 days later. How much the contractors got out of that 425, I have no idea. Really not my concern. But yeah, that sounds like a broken record. But overall, it's still here. We did add the outlets. I think I put 1, 2, 3. I think it was 5 or 6 outlets. We did the 30 amp sub panel. We did our light switch here. And am I done with this thing? My life has been pretty crazy the last 8 months or so. So I really haven't had a chance to come out here other than put stuff in this thing. As you can tell, it's a mess. I got to really do something with this. But it's really been a good investment as far as I'm concerned. The only thing I am losing with this, a little complaint, is my golf cart has a lift kit on it. We use this for the camper, and it rubs when I pull it out of here. As you can tell, it rubs on the on this beam here by like half an inch. But if that's the worst of it, no big deal. I'm not really worried about that too much. Again, when you do this bracing like I did for the snow loads and stuff, you do lose probably 8 inches, 10 inches, maybe even a foot of headspace in this thing. But again, the sacrifice to protect this thing is well worth it, in my opinion. So another quick update on everyone that's know was the driveway held up really good over the winter. Again, we didn't have much snow, but we did have our 0-degree mornings and stuff. And gotta say that this recycled asphalt, or this crushed, whatever they call it, millings, that's what it's called, millings, really did a good job over the winter. Again, still kind of loose and whatnot, but that's to be expected. Really can't expect too much more. And the guy who did the electric, he went down underground into the shed, and that worked out really well. So again, here it is in the side view. Everything is still intact. There's nothing lifting. There's nothing pulling. This thing didn't move an inch, a millimeter. Didn't move. So I guess if you have any other questions I can address, leave it in the comments, and I'll do the best I can to get to it as fast as I can. With that, everybody have a great day.